Virtual Universe Thunder Island, LuoFeng Study Room. A huge screen floated in mid-air with detailed information on Tianhua Knight's movements over the past few years and his current coordinates. Number 02933 Primal Star. Luo Feng revealed a smile. These few years Tianhua Knight seems to have gained quite a bit. Just from what the warriors of the various races know of, there's already a high-level treasure and close to 10 normal treasures. Tianhua Knight, if you've already returned these treasures to the demon race, consider yourself lucky. Otherwise, they'll all end up in my hands. Even though his consciousness was connected to the virtual universe, Luo Feng's earth body had already left Bohemia the moment he received the news and returned to his god country. Because he had to bring the golden horned beast along. This time I'm heading to the Primal Star. Primal Star, even universe lords and the strongest warriors of the universe can't teleport. If I'm discovered and the other races want to kill me, they'll have to fly over slowly. Luo Feng nodded within. The moment he was discovered in other places, the enemies might arrive quickly. However, the Primal Star would have a hard time reaching him. However, it's still a Primal Star. That place has trillions of races and warriors. I can't be careless. This is the battle that will make me famous. Luo Feng went all out this time, bringing the golden horned beast and the Masha clansmen along. He headed towards the Primal Star. Luo Feng first entered the 03921 Primal Planet and flew alone for about half a day, reaching the whirlpool pathway to the 02933 Primal Planet. This was the fastest way Luo Feng could reach the Primal Star after careful consideration. Number 02933 Primal Star, above the vast ocean, there was a huge whirlpool pathway. A tall and sturdy burning silhouette flew out from within. He was about 10 m tall, his entire body black, every inch of his body was spewing flames. I've reached the Primal Star. Luo Feng looked at his burning body and smiled. He was using the Masha clansmen to rush, and he let the Masha clansmen unleash its natural ability clone, directly cloning one of the universe overlords under the Blood Cloud leader's many life forms. Even though the other overlords weren't bad, those with one head, 2 arms and 2 legs were rare. Luo Feng was still used to his human form. On his back was a battle saber that was about 6 meters long. It was the supreme treasure saber Bohi. The tall and sturdy figure of flame with a blade on his back flew through the air, over the ocean and into the range of the land. He flew above the vast swamp for about a day before he began to approach the coordinates provided by Venerable Yuanzhou. I'm almost there. Even though he had flown for a day, Luo Feng's heart didn't waver at all. Luo Feng began to slow down, at the same time carefully observing his surroundings. The coordinates provided by Yunzhou Knight were after all the strong warriors from the Hong Alliance had discovered Tianhua Knight's location 3 days ago. 3 days had passed and there was a high chance that something had changed. He observed carefully along the way. Half an hour later, Luo Feng landed on a small lake in the swamp. His feet, which were surrounded by flames, stepped on the surface of the lake, causing steam to rise from the water. No, he's not here? Luo Feng creased his eyebrows. I've already scanned the surrounding area. I haven't found Tianhua Knight at all. Following closely, Luo Feng rushed into the sky, flying at an extremely high altitude and swiftly flying, once again conducting a larger-scale search. After all, it had only been 3 days since the strong warriors from the Hong Alliance had discovered Tianhua Knight. In these 3 days Tianhua Knight wouldn't have left the Primal Planet, he should still be in the surrounding area. Luo Feng expanded his search area. After searching for half an hour, suddenly a special energy spread out majestically in all directions, causing Luo Feng who was searching to be stunned. He too had roamed the Primal Planet before, naturally he had experience, immediately determining that this was the energy of a treasure being born. What a strong energy. Very strong. It's definitely a treasure. It could very well be a high-level treasure. I didn't expect that when I came to find Tianhua Knight, I would actually encounter a treasure being born. Luo Feng smiled, following which his eyes gleamed. Right, I've discovered a treasure being born. I've discovered it. If Tianhua Knight is in the surrounding area, he'll definitely discover it too. He'll definitely rush over with his fastest speed. Ha. So, Luo Feng immediately became an arc, heading straight for the source of the energy with extreme speed. It's a treasure. It should be a high-level treasure being born. Quickly. Rush over. Such a strong treasure energy quickly with the fastest speed. If we can get it, we'll be rich. Let's hope we're the first to arrive. The energy spread out. Those that were closest to the treasure were naturally the first to discover it. Those that were further away were the ones that discovered it. Ahead or behind, teams of knights from the various powers of the universe, the solo universe overlords, the pinnacle overlords, all swiftly rushed towards the source of the energy. Haha, my luck is really good. I actually managed to encounter a high-level treasure being born. This energy must be a high-level treasure. His entire body was covered in snow-white fur, his back was bent, his face had a huge blood-red vertical eye, his entire body emitted an endless amount of blood energy as he laughed. He was Tianhua Knight, a heavenly wolf that had once possessed a special life form. Back in the clan to exchange for the white needle, I've given almost all my other treasures to the clan. I'm really poor. Now that a high-level treasure has appeared, the stronger the treasure, the slower it is to appear. If I rush over, I'm afraid it won't even be completely born. This treasure will definitely be mine. Tianhua Knight laughed sharply, simultaneously becoming a beam of light and swiftly heading towards the source of the energy. Teams after teams, either solo or in groups of 3 to 5, All rushed towards the source of the energy. Rumble. Rumble. Violent energy ripples spread out in all directions. Luo Feng hadn't even arrived, he could already feel the intense energy ripples. Looks like the battle for the treasure has already begun. And at this time, as the consciousness of the endless dark ocean was constantly connected to the virtual universe, it received the mail that Tianhua Knight had just sent. Blade River, number 02933 Primal Planet, not far from the coordinates I gave you, there's a battle going on, there's intense energy ripples, Tianhua Knight is there, and he's currently in battle. He's really there. Luo Feng revealed a look of glee, continuing to fly towards the source of the energy. In the distance was a vast forest, the battle was continuing within. Luo Feng could see with a glance that there were teams of knights floating above the forest, there were a total of 20 knights gathered in mid-air. Luo Feng very quickly flew above the vast forest, gazing down. There were 3 silhouettes below. One was completely covered in snow-white fur, his hands wielding 2 godly hammers, with an unparalleled stance, he wantonly smashed towards the other 2 warriors of the other races. As for the other 2 outsider sovereigns, they were also tall and strong, and they also wielded supreme treasures to fight back. Demon Race Tianhua Knight, 9 Territories Alliances Zawi Leader, 1000 Shadows Knight. Luo Feng gazed below, nodding to himself, no wonder they aren't retreating, so it's 2 universe overlords. Even though Tianhua Knight was strong, he was only strong in terms of life force as high as 2000 times. Zawi Leader and 1000 Shadows Knight's life force gene levels were 100 times, their strength was obviously 1 level lower. However, just 1 level, their bodies were considered bigger, they were just at a disadvantage. The Zavale Lord walked the path of a fighter, while the 1000 Shadows Venerable walked the path of a spirit reader. If the 2 joined forces, they would definitely be able to put up a fight. They didn't hope to defeat Tianhua Knight, they just hoped to be the first to get their hands on the treasure before it fully appeared. Right now, the high-level treasure was already more than halfway out, it was a completely blue godly hammer, the handle was already completely exposed, the head of the hammer was slowly floating up. Elite Universe Overlord and 2 Universe Overlords, the treasure must have been obtained by one of them. What bad luck. If it was just 1 Universe Overlord we could still fight, but there are 3 and one of them is an Elite Universe Overlord. The other alien race venerables in the sky shook their heads helplessly. They didn't dare to get involved. Xavier Overlord and the 1000 Shadows Venerable could withstand Supremacy Tianhua's attack, but they, the Universe Venerables, would die if they tried. Luo Feng floated high in the air, gazing down. Who is that? I don't know, but his energy is strong and he's a lone ranger, he could very well be a Universe Overlord. Looks like this Universe Overlord is waiting for an opportunity. The other knights discussed, they were clear in this fight for the treasure from the level of the battle, they didn't even have a chance to interfere. Zawi Leader, 1000 Shadows Knight, the 2 of you want my treasure too? Tianhua Knight roared, his blood-red eye was incomparably mad. The treasure that has appeared this time is the godly hammer, I use it, it should be mine. If the 2 of you push me too far, don't blame me for not showing mercy. What big talk. Even though the 2 of us aren't your match to kill us, dream on. Why would the 2 of us be afraid of you? Xavier Leader and 1000 Shadows were also incomparably frenzied. Xavier Leader went to block time and time again, 1000 Shadows unleashed a spirit weapon that transformed into thousands of images, covering the sky and earth, crazily tangling with Tianhua Sage. Tianhua Knight could only use his huge hammer to attack again and again. Zawi Leader and 1000 Shadows Knight weren't anxious at all, they were waiting for an opportunity, waiting for the treasure to fully appear and immediately snatch it. Time passed minute by minute. The 3 of them continued to fight, the other knights in the air could only watch, not daring to interfere. Luo Feng too watched quietly. Soon. The treasure is about to appear. Zawi Leader and 1000 Shadows Knight's eyes gleamed. 1000 Shadows, the last chance, it's up to you. Leave it to me. 1000 Shadows Knight's eyes were filled with madness too. When it was time to fight, one had to fight madly. Treasures were obtained by fighting. The 2 of you are dreaming if you think you can get it. Tianhua Knight roared as he walked towards the treasure again and again, not wanting to stray too far from it, but Zawi Leader and 1000 Shadows Knight's attacks were too strong, causing both sides to retreat each time. And at this time Luo Feng slowly descended. The treasure has appeared. It has appeared. The group of knights in the air were all excited. Wah! Venerable Tianhua, the Lord of Xavier, and the 1000 Shadows Venerable moved at the same time, and a figure pounced down from mid-air. The Zawi Leader, the 1000 Shadows Venerable, Tianhua Venerable, and Luo Feng had already spread their divine powers around the hammer. The moment the blue hammer appeared, the divine powers from all directions tried to enter and recognize it as its master. However, it was just like the time when they fought to recognize the Sealing Star as its master. Everyone fought to recognize it as its master, but naturally they all failed. The life mark had to be left alone and not be disturbed. Another trash. Tianhua roared, all of you scram. Dream on. The 1000 Shadows Venerable controlled the 1000 Phantoms to envelop Supremacy Tianhua, hindering his advance. Break. Paragon Tianhua swung his hammer and smashed the illusions apart. The illusions were actually flying daggers that were as thin as cicada's wings. There were 1,000 of them and every single one of them had a secret law rune on it. Countless law threads connected to each other, making the 1000 flying daggers look like they were a single entity. Even though every knife was just a treasure with 1000 of them stacking together, it was enough to match a high-level treasure. Hua! Luo Feng, who was diving down, immediately split into two people. One was the tall and sturdy figure still covered in black flames, Masha clansman transformation, and the other was Luo Feng, who had just broken a world ring and came out. Like those normal world rings, Luo Feng had prepared over 10,000 of them. After all, during a true battle, the god energy ripples didn't allow for world energy to guide him. Hence, the fastest way to leave the world ring was to break a world. To Luo Feng, breaking a world, just the god energy ripples alone were enough to cause the land and skies to collapse and the world to shatter. Rumble. The golden waves surged and instantly filled a large area of the vast forest, turning the forest into a surging golden river. Naturally, the Lord of Zeve, the Thousand Shadows Venerable and Venerable Tianhua felt the strong resistance of the golden river, causing their speed to decrease sharply. And the 9 beasts within the endless golden river surrounded the hammer and grabbed it as they flew towards Luo Feng. Silence. Supremacy. Tianhua, the Lord of Zavei, and the Thousand Shadows Venerable all stopped fighting, while the 30 or so venerables in the sky stared at the scene below in a daze. This scene was completely unexpected. They all thought that the 4 warriors would engage in a bloody battle. Who would have thought that one side actually had a domain treasure? That is, Nine Nether River. It's the 9 Hell River, LuoFeng's 9 Hell River. Domain type Supreme Treasure, 9 Nether River. Luo Feng is here. The shocked silence in mid-air quickly turned into an uproar, all of them looking over. On the surging golden river, a black-haired young man with silver armor and silver wings and a saber on his back was standing on the waves with a smile on his face. It was the human Luo Feng. Luo Feng. It's Luo Feng. Lord Tianhua, Zawi leader and Thousand Shadows were all shocked. They never thought that after such a fierce battle, the one who would benefit in the end would actually be the legendary human Luo Feng. The waves surged and the 9 beasts revolved around, sending the god hammer to Luo Feng's hands. Luo Feng extended his hand and received it. As for the Masha clansman, it had long entered the world ring. The two of you fought so fiercely. It might seem cruel to let you rejoice for nothing, but I'm sorry, I'll still accept this precious treasure. Luo Feng's divine body naturally blocked off all external divine power. He easily made the hammer recognize him as its master and stored it in his world ring. Let's go. Let's go. It's Luo Feng. If we're too slow, we'll be dead. The foreign warriors in mid-air all swiftly fled. Even Thousand Shadows and Zawi leader exchanged glances. Luo Feng's reputation was simply too great. He was someone who had killed a universe overlord before. And a few overlords had fallen at his hands. No matter how good the treasure was, it wasn't as important as their lives. The two of them swiftly broke through the waves and flew far away. Ferocious. This was true fame. The moment Luo Feng appeared, the universe warriors including the 2 universe overlords immediately retreated. Only the pinnacle of the universe overlord Tianhua stood amidst the surging 9 Nether River waves, glaring angrily at Luo Feng. Human Luo Feng, you actually dare to appear on the Primal Star? Tianhua roared. Why wouldn't I dare? Luo Feng stood amidst the waves and laughed softly. He had guessed that the moment he appeared, Tianhua and the other foreign warriors would immediately inform the powers behind them. However, this was all within his calculations. For this battle that would make him famous, Luo Feng had already made ample preparations. Good, very good. Tianhua bent over, the blood-red eye under his snow-white fur grew even more frenzied. Zawi leader and those 2 bastards are afraid of you. However, in front of me, you're just a joke. He indeed wasn't afraid of Luo Feng at all. His life force level was about 2,000 times. From his point of view, even if Luo Feng was thousands of times stronger, there wouldn't be much of a difference. What's more, his body was much larger than Luo Feng's. Even if they fought head-on, he would still have the advantage. Joke. Luo Feng gently grabbed the blood shadow blade on his back and pulled it out. Caressing the blade, he lowered his head and looked at it. I've killed universe overlords before. However, I've never killed an elite one. I've heard that even universe lords find it hard to kill an elite one. I want to try. You want to kill me? Tianhua's blood-red eyes stared wide open, as though he had heard the biggest joke in the world. Right, I want to kill you. Luo Feng nodded. His voice reverberated throughout the area. In the distance, the foreign race knights who had already escaped beyond the 9 Ming River area were all watching from afar. As long as they maintained a sufficient distance from Luo Feng, they wouldn't be afraid. And from the looks of it, the 2 elite universe overlords were about to battle. How could they miss such an exciting battle? When they heard Luo Feng's words, the foreign race knights, including Zawi leader and Thousand Shadows, were all shocked. Haha, what a joke, what a joke. After killing a few universe overlords, you dare say you want to kill me. Even universe lords don't have the confidence, much less you? Human Luo Feng, I'll let you know how strong a true elite universe overlord is. Tianhua roared. He wielded a hammer in each hand and strode forward, rumbling as he rushed towards Luo Feng. Luo Feng wielded the blood shadow blade and stood there smiling. The foreign venerables, including the Lord of Zawi and the Thousand Shadows Venerable, were watching carefully from above the 9 Ghost River. The distance between the two swiftly closed. 100,000 kilometers, 50,000 kilometers. Roar. The originally smiling Luo Feng suddenly changed. His eyes were filled with ferocity, almost as though he had transformed into a beast god. With a flash of lightning he charged forward. His calm smile before, however, the moment he exploded, he was like an erupting volcano, becoming berserk and unstoppable. His energy was much stronger than his opponent's. The hammer tore through the air. The blood shadow blade slashed forward. Rumble. The two clashed. Luo Feng retreated 3 steps, and the madly charging Tianhua Knight was sent flying backwards. However, he twisted his body in midair and stopped. No wonder you can kill a universe overlord. You are stronger than me, however your strength is limited. You can't even completely suppress me, haha. Tianhua Knight had long expected Luo Feng to be stronger than him. After all, Luo Feng could easily kill a universe overlord. This was something he, Tianhua Knight, couldn't do. From this exchange, Tianhua Knight swiftly deduced that Luo Feng was only slightly stronger than him. Really? Luo Feng wielded the blood shadow blade and stepped on the golden waves as he walked over. What he unleashed earlier was the universe overlord's ultimate technique, Heavy Mountain. It was comparable to Tianhua Knight's technique. He only relied on his body and weapon to gain the upper hand. Haha, you still want to fight? Let's see how many times your body can last. Tianhua Knight took a big step forward. With the hammers in his hands, the space around him trembled. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed coldly. That was just a warm-up. He wanted to carefully feel Tianhua Knight's strength. After the exchange, he deduced that even if he unleashed the Universe Lord's pinnacle techniques Golden Mountain and Golden River, he probably wouldn't be able to kill his opponent in a short time. He had to unleash the Universe Lord's ultimate technique Golden Light. There were more foreign race warriors in mid-air, a total of 30 over. They came from the various powers of the universe. All of them were carefully watching the battle. However, Zawi leader said directly, the pinnacle of the universe overlords are strong. Their bodies are strong too. Luo Feng only has the upper hand. If he keeps fighting and exhausting his body, the human Luo Feng might actually fall. His expression froze. Up in the sky, the 30 or so alien venerables who were discussing quietly were all stunned as they watched the scene unfold below them in shock. Below. In the 9 Mile River, Luo Feng and Tianhua Knight clashed. That golden light shone, a resplendent golden light. A dazzling golden light, sharp and cold. Pung. Tianhua Knight's hammers were slashed by the blade and smashed into his own body. That blade was infused with unbelievable power. It immediately crashed into the high-level armor. It immediately reached the limits of a high-level armor. Tianhua Knight could even hear the armor ringing. How can it be so strong? Tianhua Knight's blood-red eye was filled with shock and disbelief. Rumble. Tianhua Knight was immediately flung away. Like a broken sandbag, he had no strength to resist. His body trembled from the impact. 11% loss, how can this be? Is he a universe lord? Has he already broken through to become a universe lord? Tianhua Knight was completely shocked. Even though his body wasn't too big, it was still close to 10 kilometers tall. One blade and it drained 11% of his body. That was too much. This was definitely something only a universe lord could do. Back then when Luo Feng killed Zhongzhan Knight, he needed 2 blades. One blade drained half of his body. Tianhua Knight and Zhongzhan Knight both had high-level armor. However, his god energy purity was 20 times that of Zhongzhan Knight's. However, after Luo Feng became a universe lord, his god energy purity was 100 times that of before. And his weapon changed from the Zhangyue blade to the extreme treasure blood shadow blade. This gave Luo Feng an even greater advantage. And at this level of battle, the high-level armor's defense was much weaker. Hence with just one blade, it destroyed 11% of his god body. The 30 over foreign race warriors in mid-air were shocked to find that Tianhua Knight's energy was obviously weakening. The weakening was very clear. It was at least 10% weaker. One blade and it caused an elite universe lord to lose close to 10% of his god body. They were completely shocked by the scene. This was definitely something only a universe lord could do. Volume 21, Chapter 20. Wind rising, 7,000 votes. If the difference in strength between the two wasn't huge, the recoil from the clash would cause Luo Feng to slow down or even retreat. However, the difference between the two was simply too huge. Unleashing the Universe Lord's ultimate technique, Luo Feng was like a true Universe Lord. After the first slash, he followed closely behind Tianhua's body and slashed again. Not good, one slash after another, 9 slashes will be enough to kill me. Tianhua couldn't care less about the shock of Luo Feng becoming a Universe Lord. Escaping was the most important thing now. White Needle. A huge white shuttle-shaped object suddenly appeared behind Tianhua Knight. It was about 1,000 kilometers long, completely white and extremely glossy. The moment it appeared, it immediately flew towards Tianhua Knight. Tianhua Knight followed the force of Luo Feng's second slash and flew over, entering the white shuttle-shaped object. After escaping into the shuttle, Tianhua finally let out a sigh of relief. I was almost killed by this Luo Feng. Tianhua's snow-white fur-covered blood-red eye was filled with fear. Too strong. Luo Feng only revealed a little bit of his strength at the start, he was hiding it all. The strength he revealed after was completely at the Universe Lord level. Sinister. Too sinister. That slash was so fast I couldn't dodge, so strong I couldn't defend against it. The profoundness was deep and profound, I couldn't even see through it. It was definitely a Universe Lord's technique, and it was probably the ultimate technique. Such a technique could only be created by a Universe Lord. And only a Universe Lord could injure me. This Luo Feng becoming a Universe Lord, he actually hid it from the public. Tianhua was nervous and excited. Luckily, when I offered up the clan treasures to exchange for treasures, I chose the white needle and not the armor. Tianhua exclaimed within. As an elite universe lord, his wealth naturally far exceeded normal universe lords. Over the countless years of accumulation, he had even roamed the universe sea for a long time. He had many treasures. During this opening of the primal planet, he naturally planned to exchange for an important treasure to protect himself. At that time he had two choices. One was to exchange for a supreme treasure armor. 100 supreme treasure points were enough for the human race. Two was to exchange for a high-grade flying palace treasure. The cheapest among the human race was also around 200 supreme treasure points. Obviously, treasures of the flying palaces were more expensive. However, he still gritted his teeth and traded for this flying palace treasure regardless of the price. I made the right choice. If I had gotten a top-grade supreme treasure armor back then, even though its defense would have been stronger, it would have been much stronger. However, his attacks are too terrifying. Even with the top-level armor, one move can hurt at least 1/1000 of me. With this Luo Feng surrounding me, even if he slashes me over 1000 times, I'll still die. Supremacy Tianhua heaved a sigh of relief. Now that he was hiding in a flying palace, he had nothing to fear. The Nine Ghost River was vast and mighty. Luo Feng stood within the golden waves, looking at the white shuttle floating in the distance. His expression changed. Flying palace-type treasure. Haha, Luo Feng. A voice resounded from the white shuttle. I respect you. You're probably one of the top geniuses of the trillions of races in the vast universe. Training for such a short period of time, the other warriors all think you're an absolute tyrant of the universe. However, they never expected you to actually be a universe lord. If not for this flying palace treasure, I'm afraid I'd have died today. Haha, however now, I'm afraid you're out of luck. I'm out of luck? Luo Feng looked at the white shuttle. Very angry, very angry? However, what can you do to me? I'm within the flying palace. Even if you're 10 or 100 times stronger, you can only stare. Supremacy Tianhua's sharp voice resounded from within the white shuttle. Luo Feng too felt that he had miscalculated. He had made very detailed preparations for this battle that would make him famous. He had also anticipated many unexpected situations. The paragon of Tianhua having a flying palace was one of the worst situations. Although he had proven his strength and many experts had seen it from afar, and the paragon of Tianhua had admitted it, however, he still hadn't been able to kill him cleanly. This battle didn't have enough credibility. As for breaking through the white shuttle, Luo Feng didn't have such thoughts. The flying palace treasures were the sturdiest treasures of the same level. They specialized in resisting material attacks. A normal flying palace treasure in terms of sturdiness was comparable to a high-level armor. A high-level flying palace treasure was comparable to a top-level armor. Like the Sky Wolf leader, he had the Sky Wolf Palace, which was also a high-level flying palace treasure. However, it was considered one of the better ones. According to human values, it was worth 800 to 900 treasure points. The Sky Wolf leader relied on it to dominate the universe. Even the Primal Chaos City leader and the 9 Underworld leader couldn't break through it. The shuttle was slightly weaker than the Sky Wolf Palace. However, it was still enough to dominate the universe. Most of the universe lords were helpless against it. Against a flying palace treasure, one could usually only rely on soul attacks. And Luo Feng wasn't proficient in soul attacks. So, Luo Feng immediately kept the 9 River and became a beam of light and flew away. You want to leave? The white shuttle followed closely. Luo Feng and the white shuttle tore through the skies one after the other, causing the distant foreign race warriors to be dumbfounded. There's actually a flying palace treasure. Tianhua Knight actually said Luo Feng is a universe lord. Of course he's a universe lord. To be that strong, if he isn't a universe lord, then what is he? Even an elite universe lord lost 10% of his body in one slash. Other than a universe lord, who else could be that strong? One after the other. Tianhua Knight, you're determined to follow me? Luo Feng looked behind. Right, I'm determined to follow you. You won't be able to escape. The white shuttle said. Luo Feng glanced at the huge white shuttle behind him. He indeed couldn't deal with it. It was clear that the Automaton bug and demon race had been investigating him. Tianhua Knight would naturally follow him to confirm his coordinates and inform the upper echelon of the demon race. Play big. I'm afraid I'll have to rely on Plan 9. LuoFeng's eyes gleamed with killing intent. Demon territory, Dream Ancestor secret region. Tianhua Knight left his body within the race. He used his servant's god country to swiftly teleport to the Dream Ancestor secret region. After arriving there, his consciousness immediately connected to the virtual space. Like the Automaton race, they too created their own virtual space. Even back on Earth back then, with a simple quantum computer, they were able to create a simple virtual space war god palace. To reach a virtual space that covered the entire universe, with all the laws within, was very difficult. However, if it was a small virtual space, just exchanging information was still very simple. The demon race had a virtual space that covered the entire Dream Ancestor secret region. Within the demon race virtual space, within a vast mist, a majestic white palace rose and fell. This was where the Dream Ancestor was at. Within the mist, there was a long table with 9 silhouettes. Above each of them was a huge silver-white snake. The snake's body extended far into the distance, faintly discernible within the mist. It was incomparably huge. The other 8 silhouettes were of various shapes and sizes. Obviously they were the great beings of the demon race. Teacher. Tianhua Knight appeared in mid-air. His snow-white fur body bowed respectfully. You said you discovered Luo Feng and that he's a universe lord? The silver-white snakehead looked over. Yes. Tianhua Knight said. Liar. How can the human Luo Feng become a universe lord so quickly? Impossible. Immediately, many of the other 8-seated masters of the universe began to shout. Tianhua Knight said, this is the truth. I've personally verified it. If it wasn't for me exchanging for the Flying Palace treasure White Needle early on, I'd probably have fallen to him. To kill you, he'd have to have the power of a universe lord. How long has he been training? Impossible. The other universe lords were still in disbelief. Sitting in the main seat, Dream Ancestor watched quietly. Tianhua Knight immediately said, words are useless. I'll show the other universe lords what happened then and everything will be clear. After which he looked into mid-air. Everything he had experienced, including the scenes from his memories, was simulated once more. Starting from his fight with Xavier Leader and Thousand Shadows. Silence reigned. The universe lords all watched carefully. Trillions of years of experience told them that it was impossible to become a universe lord in such a short period of training. Otherwise it would be too heaven-defying. The simulation ended. The universe lords were silent for a while. They could all see that when Luo Feng exchanged blows with Tianhua Knight, the first slash, the difference in strength between the two wasn't huge. However, after Luo Feng's second slash, the power immediately exploded, causing Tianhua Knight to lose 10% of his body. Just from the images alone, they couldn't see the wonders of that slash. Because Tianhua Knight didn't understand it, naturally he couldn't replicate it. One slash. Just mimicking 100% of the postures was useless. The true essence was the Tao of the beast god that was activated by the countless mysterious runes of the laws. This was something the memory images couldn't replicate. Luckily I hid in the Flying Palace, otherwise I would have died. Tianhua Knight emphasized. Not necessarily. Dream Ancestor said, Luo Feng might not be a universe lord. He was able to fight against Bark Mirror Emperor at undying level. When he was a universe lord, his body should be stronger than yours. With such a strong body, he should have had some special encounters, or even been bestowed with a natural technique. Perhaps he would have obtained an innate secret art that is comparable to the ultimate secret art of the Lord of the Universe. The other universe lords nodded. Have you ever seen him control space? Dream Ancestor said. No. Tianhua Knight shook his head. Just one powerful technique could be a natural technique. Unless he can unleash two techniques, only then would one be his own creation. Dream Ancestor shook her head, and your strength isn't enough, you can't really tell. Only by letting a universe lord fight him, can you clearly determine if he's a universe lord. You're following him now? Dream Ancestor said. Yes. Tianhua Knight said, he can't escape. I'm definitely following him. The silver-white snakehead said, I'll contact the Automaton and Bug race. The three races will work together to eliminate this Luo Feng. In the dark space, three thoughts pierced through time and space and descended here. It was the three strongest warriors of the universe, the demon, Automaton and Bug race. The silver-white snakehead hovered in space and said, Luo Feng has appeared on the primal planet and we can confirm. He has the strength of a universe lord. I've received the news. The huge oval-shaped black ball silhouette spoke. Your demon clans Tianhua Knight and Luo Feng fought on primal planet number 02933. Tianhua Knight wasn't his match at all, he relied on his Flying Palace-type treasure to survive. I've received the news too. The silhouette said. Since you all know, that's even better. The silver-white snakehead's voice had a formless power. If a weakling heard it, he would naturally feel boundless fear. This is a rare chance. Luo Feng is currently on the primal planet. If we three join forces, we can take the chance to get rid of him. Of course we have to get rid of him, however, I want to confirm, is he a universe lord now? The silhouette's gentle voice resounded. I want to know too. The huge oval black ball silhouette said. Even though they didn't dare believe that one could become a universe lord in such a short time. However, they understood the evolution of the universe was always unknown, any miracle could happen. The silver-white snakehead said, I'm not sure, he could be, he could also not. Of course I hope he's a universe lord. Even the Automaton and Bug races too hoped so too, because if Luo Feng wasn't a universe lord, he already had such powerful strength. The moment he broke through, how terrifying would that be? If he broke through, that meant Luo Feng wouldn't be much stronger in the future, naturally the threat would be much smaller. I suspect he has an extremely powerful natural ability, relying on it to heavily injure my disciple. The silver-white snakehead said, if that's the case then he's still a universe lord, naturally we have to get rid of this threat. He could really be a universe lord, even if he is, getting rid of him would be a part of humanity's strength. What do your two races think? Just our demon race alone, with the interference of the Great Alliance, would have a hard time killing Luo Feng. If we three join forces we'll have a much higher chance of killing him. The machine race's godfather and the insectoid queen fell silent for a moment. I agree. I agree. One after the other, the oval black sphere and the slim figure spoke at the same time. With our three races joining forces, we are naturally unstoppable. The silvery white snake leader laughed. In my opinion, each race should send out 3 universe lords. If the 3 parties work together, there will be 9 masters of the universe. 9 masters of the universe will arrive at the primitive planet from different vortex passageways and surround it. Even if the Hong Alliance resists, what can they do? 9 universe masters? You think too highly of Luo Feng. The bug race and the machine race were somewhat unwilling. In terms of the number of lords of the universe, the machine race and the bug race actually had very few. It was even fewer than the humans and demons. If we want to kill, we have to not give them any chances. Otherwise, if we send too few and let LuoFeng escape, when LuoFeng grows up, humanity will naturally become stronger. You should know, if it wasn't for that lunatic from the human race, our three races would have long been suppressed by the human race. Don't look down on humans, their potential is terrifying. I can see from this LuoFeng that the madman from back then. The silver-white snake head said. It can't be. How can that be? Thinking about that madman that had long been destroyed by the human race, the automaton god and the bug queen felt a chill. It was just that because he was too crazy he destroyed himself. Think about it, how long has LuoFeng been training for? The silver-white snake head said. My bug race alliance will send 3. The silhouette said. My automaton alliance will send 3. The oval black ball silhouette said. The upper echelons of the demon race, bug race and automaton race swiftly came to an agreement, deciding on the plan to kill LuoFeng. With the 9 universe masters as the main force, along with the large amounts of universe knights and universe overlords from the 3 alliances as support, they would kill LuoFeng. And with the other strong powers of the 3 alliances as support, to defend against the Hong alliance. In the air above the forest of the primal planet 02933, LuoFeng was flying swiftly, following behind him was the white shuttle. Following? LuoFeng glanced behind. The demon race, automaton race and bug race have all received the news long ago. With their efficiency they've probably already made plans. However, how would you know my trump card? This battle to become famous will definitely be very exciting. Hua hua hua. Endless golden waves formed in mid-air, immediately covering a 30 million kilometers area, causing the white shuttle behind to be engulfed by the waves. The strong resistance caused the white shuttle's speed to decrease. Nine River? Tianhua lowered his head, the blood-red eye under his snow-white fur revealed a look of disdain, trying to escape, dream on. His god energy spread out and searched his surroundings. Rumble. However, the divine power he used to probe was directly blocked off by the barrier. Forbid me from searching? It's useless. I'm in the Nine Desolate River and you're controlling it. Once you're slightly further away from me beyond 30 million kilometers, I'll exit the Nine Desolate River and naturally be able to follow you. Supremacy Tianhua was confident in his victory and was not anxious at all. Time passed. The Nine Desolate River continued to advance rapidly, and Supremacy Tianhua was also within it. After a while. Why are you constantly maintaining it? You have so much god energy that you don't even know where to use it. Tianhua sneered, after which he was stunned. Not right. Space domain. Paragon Tianhua immediately unleashed his law domain. Rumble. Clashing with the law domain within the 9C, the 2 domains clashed constantly. This made Tianhua feel that something was wrong. Why did LuoFeng keep stopping him, not allowing him to search clearly? There had to be a problem. Haha Tianhua, you're really stupid. A powerful laugh resounded. Simultaneously the golden river disappeared. In mid-air, there was a majestic golden horned beast with 6 sharp horns floating in mid-air. Within the white shuttle, a snow-white furred head appeared, looking around and raging. Where's he? Where's LuoFeng? He left a long time ago. The golden horned beast laughed. Damn golden horned beast, how do you control the 9C river? Tianhua was both anxious and raging. LuoFeng and I are life and death friends, we've been exploring the Primal Star together, only I've been hiding within his world ring. Before, when he was flying in front, you were following behind. He's long since secretly placed the 9C river into his world ring, withdrawing his life imprint and letting me use it temporarily. The golden horned beast laughed in mid-air. The 9C river's sudden appearance, that's because I'm controlling it. LuoFeng has long snuck away, by now he's long gone. Bastard. Tianhua gritted his teeth. He finally remembered, back then LuoFeng earned the title of the pinnacle of the universe overlord. It was because he wantonly slaughtered the foreign warriors. Many of them said it was a black beast that killed him, others said it was the black golden horned beast that killed him. I actually forgot, he still had a golden horned beast friend. Tianhua raged within. Haha, if you want to chase, hurry up and chase. Maybe you can even catch up to LuoFeng. The golden horned beast laughed, casually flapping its wings and flying away. Tianhua cursed within. He was actually tricked by such a method, he was too careless. Teacher, LuoFeng has escaped, I lost him. Within the Demon Dream Ancestor Secret Region's virtual space, Tianhua could only report to the Dream Ancestor Demon. Lost him. This infuriated the 3 races who had just come up with the plan, but there was nothing they could do about it. They immediately modified the plan and ordered the experts of the Fey Race Alliance, the Insectoid Race Alliance, and the Mech Race Alliance to conduct a large-scale search on primitive planet number 02933. They also sent a total of 9 universe lords to primitive planet number 02933. Chase me? LuoFeng flew in mid-air, intentionally heading towards the same spot as the golden horned beast, preparing to meet up. Tianhua underestimates me too much, just the first method was enough to trick him. LuoFeng smiled. Just as LuoFeng was smiling happily, rumble. The land and skies went silent. An endless pressure immediately enveloped the entire planet. The 3 races had a total of 9 universe lords. The first universe lord had descended on this planet. The entire planet's warriors from the various powers all went silent, all of them were filled with fear and caution. They understood, The Universe Lord had descended. "LuoFeng, you have to die." The voice was low and rumbling like the ground itself, resounding around LuoFeng. "I wonder which Universe Lord it is." LuoFeng smiled. "Bug Clan Alliance, Banfa Leader." The voice resounded around LuoFeng. LuoFeng laughed softly. "You want to kill me, just you?" "Ah." LuoFeng's laughter got louder and louder, not caring about the space around him at all. LuoFeng continued to fly in midair, however he didn't intentionally meet up with the golden horned beast. "These are LuoFeng's coordinates. Surround him. Surround him." The Demon Race, Bug Race and Mech Race Alliance quickly sent messages and began to arrange for a large number of universe supremacies to head towards the coordinates. Even the experts of the three Great Races Alliance on other primitive planets quickly rushed over. This time, it was the first time that the three Great Races Alliance had gathered together for a big operation. The Great Alliance naturally received the news at the first moment, swiftly making arrangements. After the Banfa leader descended on planet number 02933, about half an hour later, another Universe Lord descended. The moment they descended, they began to fight for control of space and time, causing the entire space of the planet to be in chaos, affecting each other, causing both sides to lose control of space and time. "It's our Great Alliance's Universe Lord," LuoFeng immediately guessed. At this time in the virtual universe, LuoFeng received his teacher Primal Chaos City Leader's mail. "LuoFeng, the Dragon Leader has already descended on your planet. This time, the Devil Race, the Machinery Race and the Insect Race are doing their best to deal with you. The Hong Alliance can only try our best to interfere and disrupt their plans. Even if Teacher arrives, he will be restrained by the three races. It is said that you have the combat strength of a Lord of the Universe? Do you have any confidence in dodging this? If the situation gets too troublesome, you'd rather self-destruct, understand?" The Great Alliance wasn't worried. Because they had long given LuoFeng the sole treasure afterimage. From their point of view, with LuoFeng's talent in cloning, he would at most lose a few treasures. "Teacher, your disciple naturally has confidence." LuoFeng immediately replied. "It's getting more and more exciting. The curtains have already been drawn. Let's begin. I wonder how this battle that will make me famous will turn out." LuoFeng's smile widened.